I'm here with Cameron Hibbert, who's the North America Licensing Business Unit Director with Johnson Matthey at the SAF North America Congress. So welcome, Cameron.
Fantastic to be here.
This year's Congress focuses on bridging the gap between capital, infrastructure and action. And from your perspective, what are the biggest enablers, but also barriers standing between today's SAF ambitions and real large-scale deployment?
Yeah, enablers and barriers. Fantastic topic. For me, a conference like this is a great example of, the talent that's in the industry. I'm constantly surprised in a pleasant way about the capabilities of people you meet here. I was on a panel and I'm really looking forward to continuing the conversation with the people that you meet. And I can also reflect on, I work for a company called Johnson Matthey, and I'm constantly really impressed by the talent and capabilities and superstars that I work with on a daily basis. So I think this is a strong enabler in this specific industry. There's a real focus on getting this done. So that's fantastic, a lot of power. In terms of barriers, what I would say is that this is really hard. Yeah, this supply chain complexity and the job that we're trying to do with deploying capital intensive assets in this sector, this is really a heavy lift. So it's no easy task, and that's why we're seeing no rapid deployment. This is hard stuff. So worthwhile recognizing that as well.
Yeah, if it was easy, we wouldn't be here, I don't think,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
As the industry advances multiple SAF pathways, to get to where we need to be, from HEFA and biomass to waste to liquids and power to liquids and co-processing. Bit of a mouthful there.
Yeah.
How do you see their roles evolving as the market moves from early deployment to large-scale production?
Yeah, look, great question. We're so early in the industry. Look, I come from the school of thought that all of the above sort of applies. Trying to pick a winner is actually not the approach. I think there's sort of 5 golden rules that I like to really think of what success most likely looks like. And I'll try to list them through. So the first one, in fact, my favorite one, is having technology that's ready to scale now. Yeah, it's no demo plants, no we may be ready later, that's really ready now. So that means references, provenness, bankability for the asset. So that's really critical, and that also enables, very importantly, solid economics for the business case. So that's number one. The other one that I think is very important for this industry is flexibility in feedstock. So feedstock flexibility, we talk a lot about it in this conference. And this is really important for a whole range of reasons. But one of them is to do with the variability of the sort of feedstocks that we're dealing with. In some years, there might be a favorable feedstock. In another year, there'll be a different sort of favorable feedstock. So having diversity in feedstock is actually the power of that industry. A couple of other areas I think is ASTM approval. So you certainly need that to be able to drop it into the jet fuel pool. And then also a route to SAF, which is very much a European requirement. And another one that I think is important is having a disconnect from food and feed, which is another really European centric requirement. But if you're addressing all of those 5, which we do at JM across our 3 major pathways, then I think that's an important recipe for success.
I think those 5 golden rules you just mentioned resonated across a lot of the panel discussions I've been hearing over the past few days. So certainly a great pathway forward.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Johnson Matthey, obviously a company that's been around for a long time with a century-long heritage in catalysis and process engineering, but also strong partnerships across the value chain. How are these collaborations helping to bridge the gap between technology innovation and bankable real-world SAF projects?
Yeah, great. Yeah, partnerships is talked a lot in this conference and every conference, and it's definitely worthwhile unpacking what that means within this space. I reflect back to my original comment on the complexity of the value chain. So what we're talking about here is, some woody biomass or agricultural company in Louisiana, all the way through to airline companies and even purchasers, people that purchase the tickets for the airline. So these are very complicated, long value chains. And so I think an important role of partnerships is simplifying that value chain. We've established what we're calling the SAF Technology Alliance, and this is an alliance between JM, Honeywell, Gadara, and Samsung Engineering. So this is an important element of the middle part of the value chain. So there's no airline there and there's no feedstock company there, but a very important part of the entire value chain so that we can really shorten the value chain, speak the same language, have the same North Star for deploying plants, and can really accelerate that effort in removing that complexity of a complex value chain.
Fantastic. And I mean, collaboration is so important in this industry. One question I had was on SAF technologies, and as they move towards greater deployment, I mean, what gives you confidence that the industry can scale sustainably?
Yeah, sustainability, I guess, has two elements to it. First of all, talking about carbon abatement and that sort of end of sustainability, there's really some fantastic data now available. Even though we're sort of early in the industry in its deployment, there's a lot of great data out there on how we're going about investing in the right technologies to get the right carbon intensity and carbon abatement. So I'm very confident with the technologies that JM is deploying, at least in the methanol, FT space, as well as bioforming process technologies, that we've got technologies that have very good carbon intensity numbers and will deliver excellent sustainability and carbon abatement results. So there's that element. And then also on the business sustainability, I think that's a very important, so that this is not just a one plant activity, this is a way of scaling the entire industry on a repeatability sort of basis, plant by plant. And again, I refer back to sort of these 5 golden rules. I think if we stick to that course, stick to that strategy, stick to the plan in being able to create value and deliver value across those 5 golden rules, then I think we have a sustainable business case as well.
Fantastic. Cameron, this has been truly fascinating. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate it. Fantastic. Thank you.